Alright everyone, we start off today talking about the most hilarious TDS and copium huffing that I've seen so far. And we've seen a lot of it. Now I'm going to read you the title of this article. Link in the description, archived of course, you can read through it yourself. It's basically a TDS screed. It comes from the New Republic. It's a piece by Tori Oten. What's the title? What did I wake up to this morning? Donald Trump might just time his arrest to get out of the Republican debate. Of course, that's August 25th, so it's a little bit less than a week from now. That's a spin, a real spin. See, there's a problem. We've all been thinking that maybe Donald Trump was going to return to Twitter for the big day in order to undercut all the other opponents. And in a perfect world, that's what he would do. It would be a master chess move. It's basically you knock out the rest of the field effectively. It would be hilarious because it'd be all anyone would talk about. And when the minds of the voter, even fans of these other candidates, it would underscore how pathetic they are, basically, how irrelevant they've all become, because nobody wants to talk about anything but Donald Trump, whether they like him or whether they don't like him. But he can't do that necessarily. Why? Because his Twitter DMs have been subpoenaed now. And I was thinking about it the other day. Aren't I an idiot? He can't return to Twitter because they would claim evidence tampering. Because you can delete DMs in Twitter. So he would be best off not doing so. In fact, if Trump were to try to log into his Twitter right now, he wouldn't be able to gain access to it. They've changed the password or something. So what's the next best thing? Yeah, arrange your booking in Fulton County, Georgia, to be right before the debate. Ergo, your mugshot has gone completely viral, almost instantaneously. The second that it's put out there, it becomes 10,000 different merchandise items. Trump will be reeling in the dough so fast. His campaign finance problem, so-called, would go away pretty quickly. The hope that he gets handcuffed. He's hoping to do the perp walk. The liberals will howl about it all day as though it was some sort of major victory. A lot of Americans will see nothing more than a witch hunt. It'll be on full display for all those independent voters who are undecided whether the system is completely corrupt and has gone insane, or whether Donald Trump propaganda has been true all along. I think most of them, if they're intelligent, and independent voters tend to be, will lean in the prior direction. So Trump's hoping for a perp walk. He's definitely hoping to get that mugshot printed out as quickly as possible. He's probably got people literally right now. They're making the preparations in an office somewhere to endlessly replicate. They've got everything set up already. They're pulling all-nighters all the time. They are running on caffeine, salivating, waiting for the mugshot. So yeah, that would be a wise move. The next best thing from returning to Twitter would be to arrange your booking at exactly the same time the debate's about to start. Nobody will care about the debate. They'll be watching live coverage of Donald Trump entering the courthouse, in cuffs potentially. They'll be pressing refresh over and over to get the first look at that mugshot. 4chan will probably crash from the extra traffic. Reddit will be a mess. The entire internet will have a nervous breakdown, basically. Yeah, that would be wise. So why are you saying he's going to do it to Deviousdonald is trying to bamboozle his way out of having to debate? He's already said he's not going to debate. He's not willing to sign the loyalty pledge. You're acting like it's some up-in-the-air issue. While there's a possibility that he does something even more masterful, this is what he could do, and in a second I'll describe it. This would probably be the wisest, easiest solution. I mean, he has to do the perp walk and the mugshot. Just get it over with and get your money, basically. Get your $50 million of merch that you're going to sell. You're going to sell so many mugs. Everyone's going to be drinking out of Trump mugshot mugs. They're not going to want the Ouroboros mugs anymore. They're going to be wearing T-shirts. It's going to be nuts. Yeah, the red MAGA hat is so 2016. People are going to have perp walk hats this time around, just to show how much they fucking hate the system. The other thing that Trump could do is not skip the debate. I personally don't think it particularly material whether he shows up at all, or does it. It doesn't matter. If he shows up, half the people there will love him. Half the people are going to hate him. He has a debate. There's going to be no clear-cut winner if he's on the stage because he walks away still with the 35-40 point lead, and it doesn't mean anything. Christie will attempt to attack him. Mike Pence and DeSantis will hold their punches and look weak. Christie is unelectable, so it doesn't matter if he prevails over Deviousdonald. He can do that if he shows up at the debate. there's one thing that he could do that would be masterful. He shows up. He signed the pledge already, but he has a printout of the pledge, and he pretends to live sign it in front of the audience and then mutters something about promising to support his own presidential ambitions because he's self-evidently the nominee. Well, that would be one hell of an entrance now, wouldn't it? That would be rather funny. Right now, we're on Leftoid watch for the height and weight measurements that'll be taken of Donald Trump and apparently under Georgia law released publicly. People say, oh, he's not actually 6'3". I think he's actually 6'2", but the differentiation doesn't mean anything. He's not actually just 230 pounds because they've been led to, every time they see a cartoon of Trump, he's basically spherical. So there's somebody else that'll be up on stage that day that is. I noticed that he gets a lot less flack than Trump does. Chris Christie. But this is hilarious. The spin on this particular article, just the title alone is spin. Massive cope. Well, Deviousdonald doesn't want to debate because he thinks he'll lose, or he doesn't like other people, he's just a grump or something like that. It's like, no, it's strategic. He's having to cope right now with 4 different political persecutions. At the very least, he can turn one of them around, whirlwind at the other candidates, and laugh heartily. He'll be doing the perp walk at the exact same time, ensuring that the candidates are asked about it. And then you'll have them, watch what'll happen. Most of them are very non-committal. Well, I condemn the system for persecuting Donald Trump. Donald Trump did a bad thing. Something like this, basically DeSantis' line. If I'm elected, I'll solve this problem. Yeah, sure you will. You're happy about the fact that the front runner in the field is repeatedly taken off of the campaign trail. You're happy about that. Not that it's harming him. If anything, all these indictments and the perp walk and the mugshot and shit, they help him. Because a large portion of the population, something like 35-40% of voters, consider him to be the victim of persecution in the most outright of senses. If you don't have an energized opposing campaign, and you certainly won't with Biden, you end up with Donald Trump probably having sky-high turnout and winning. And this is what they're worried about. This is why they're literally trying to put him in a cell. This is why they're trying to make it impossible for him to win, taking him off the ballot, putting him in a cell, something like that. They're speeding through it right now in a legendary manner because they're afraid of the man. And they hate him. It's partially simple retaliatory measure. Now, part of it is Trump came in, he did a bad thing. He's a donor classer. He wasn't supposed to make a serious run. He was supposed to do a fake run to sell steaks or a book or something like that, like other rich people do, like Bloomberg. He was supposed to get involved, get in, make a shit show, inject some energy into the election, in other words, then drop and endorse and say how great somebody else is, like Jeb or Rubio. That was what he was supposed to do. He was probably warned by some of his rich moneyed buddies that it was a bad idea what he was doing, and he didn't know what he was getting himself into. So far, he has managed to ride the surge. So far, despite these stormy seas, the ship of Trump is still afloat, which is actually miraculous because anyone else by now would have goddamn folded. You would have folded. I certainly would have folded. I can't think of how many people, maybe 1 in a million people, can tolerate the kind of bullshit that's gone on towards Donald Trump and his family and his inner circle and his old employees and anyone associated with goddamn Trump, including fucking content creators. We're all getting abused. It's a massive misuse of power that we're seeing, and it's all tied together. Trump has managed to come through so far without being in a cell, without being killed, without dying of a goddamn stress-induced heart attack. More power to him. Just another reason to elect him. We need that kind of fortitude at this moment, considering foreign policy has fallen apart and several wars have begun. It's a hilarious TDS. That's about all. Peace out.